Today I am going to be addressing food insecurity in the Canadian North, specifically within Aboriginal communities. The gaps in the food systems are wicked problems and the problem of all Canadians. As a result of post-colonization, compassion and other values need to be put into policy and action to help our marginalized communities. It is very expensive to transport fresh food up from the south. This, combined with a decreased amount of traditional food sources in these communities, is leading to poor diets and preventable health outcomes. With less fresh food sources available, people are resorting to other options to gather their groceries. The reason why transportation of food is so hard is due to the lack of road networks that exist up north, with cars and trucks not being able to access a lot of this area. It is also hard to set up rail lines due to the climate. Therefore, a larger emphasis is put on marine and air transport. As a result, food is becoming very expensive. Since fresh food is hard to come by and close to expiration once reaching the north, many Indigenous people face food deserts. With no local grocery stores, people are having to purchase food from local gas stations. Others have to visit food banks, facing its associated stigmas and shame, along with discrimination due to the lack of culturally appropriate foods available. Food bank use has increased a lot the past couple decades, with people saying their food needs still go unmet. Since food banks are emergency food providers, they are unequipped to meet this demand. Since Indigenous people most often get their food from places carrying cheap processed food items, they're at a higher risk of experiencing poverty, health challenges, obesity, and nutrition-related chronic disease in comparison to non-Indigenous people. One of three ways this issue can be addressed is through a food shed analysis, which tries to address the issue of relocalizing food supplies to minimize food miles spent between sites of production to sites of distribution and consumption, though this has downfalls of its own. Urban food production could be an alternative as well through the attraction of corporate supermarket chains to smaller cities. This, however, can displace local food retailers, which may actually worsen food deserts since people will have no access to their local retailers and may end up stockpiling imperishable food items from market chains that are further away from them. Food access is another proposed solution whereby corner stores can be retrofitted into carrying fruits and vegetables, along with implementing bottom-up policies that create local change. Most of these proposed solutions, however, have ramifications of their own, adding to the wickedness of this problem. Solutions for this problem are not simple, and contributing factors further lead to other problems, such as lack of traditional foods and related practices involving acquisition and distribution as a community, which means there is no longer a practice of sharing cultural value, further isolating these marginalized populations and adding to mental health burden. As such, advocacy and action for food security has started to be addressed on the national level. The Northern Food Security Coalition released a strategy and action plan from 2014 to 2016 for extensive public engagement based around 6 key themes. Provincial governments like the Government of Manitoba has also established food security specific programs, and the federal government is also helping to invest in regional food production. These steps will only just begin to address the complex, wide-scale problem that is food insecurity. A holistic approach is essential for this. While improving access to nutritious foods is important, community engagement is needed. Nutritious education needs to be promoted, as well as teaching of skills such as food preparation to promote healthy eating habits. This can be done through school-led programs like gardening lessons to students. There are also many innovative solutions to help with this. The University of Saskatchewan has a 7-year, $37.2 million project funded by the Government of Canada, where drones map food production as a resource for plant breeders. Drone Delivery Canada is also working with Moose Factory to deliver food to remote communities. The impact of such solutions can continue to be measured by Statistics Canada using the Household Food Security Survey model on the Canadian Community Health Survey. Some provinces and territories, however, opt out of monitoring food insecurity, which does not allow for evidence-based programs to be put in place. While public funding helps with government-led initiatives, there is also private funding available from organizations like the Epicure Foundation, which provides grants for grassroots food security initiatives across Canada. Instead of turning a blind eye, Canadians need to take responsibility for food insecurity and take collective action through the social connection model. The social connection model consists of looking to the future and changing detrimental systems in place. In an effort to undo structural injustices from past colonization, we have to avoid telling Indigenous people what to do and rather work with them through critical engagement in an effort towards sustained reconciliation. Many working class people don't make enough money to be food secure, showing the need for public action. Thus, the universal child care benefit was established to reduce food insecurities for single-parent households by providing families with $100 monthly for each child. There is a systemic lack of basic services like clean water, with access to nutritious foods being just another. By focusing on food insecurity and Sustainable Development Goal 2, which is zero hunger, other disparities and intertwining SDGs can be indirectly addressed under 6. To ensure preparedness, individuals need to be reflexive. A solution will not be reached until food insecurity in the North is viewed as a Canadian issue and not just an Indigenous issue.